I really am so lucky to work with him in the way that all of our decisions, all of our work is really, what's integrated into that is how can we bring the most benefit to the people in the areas that we operate in. So Robert, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Libby. Really appreciate that. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the municipality councillors from Swellendam in Western Cape, the ward councillors from the Cayman municipality in Northern Cape, the Madam Director of the Amateur West District in the Eastern Cape Provincial Department of Education, the Swellendam Local Municipality Department of Education Manager, the chairperson of the Swellendam Business Chamber, the chairperson of the Pufada Business Chamber, the chairperson of the Joint Business Forum,
so we can also not hear.
Our school principals, the industry associations joining, the Inland 5, the Coastal 6, the Cayman Forum, and the Western Cape Wind Forum. And then it's fantastic to look at the students sitting here looking at us. So, as Libby said, BT Renewables, we have a motto that we're working from, and it's called Unlocking Potential. It's unlocking the potential, not just of South Africa, but of all of Africa. So we are a South African company. We have been for more than a decade. Our headquarters here, we are South Africans. We are actually active across all of Africa. We also have projects in Kenya, we're busy in Egypt, we're looking in Namibia, with Mozambique, and there are many countries where we're very active right now, but all of it is done here out of South Africa. So we might be international, but first and foremost, we are South Africans. So unlocking potential, what is potential? Well, there's a lot of potential in Africa. There are the resources. There's the wind and the sun. And that's what we do. When we say BT Renewables, it's because we create wind farms and solar farms. With those, we harness the wind, we harness the sun, and we create clean energy. That is what we do. But in order to do that, we are a lot of people here. So when we started many years ago, we were a handful of people. Today, we are 140 people across Africa, and a lot of us are here in South Africa. And unlocking potential is also about unlocking potential, in this case, of the students of South Africa. So we all know that in our wonderful nation, we have challenges. There are many fixes to that, and the government and we as a population are trying to fix many things. But we also need to build a foundation for the future which is sustainable, so we don't need fixes in the future. And that lies with the youth. And for us, it lies with giving the youth the possibility to educate themselves and become the knowledge of this country. So when we do social economic development, we have a number of areas we're working on. We have education, we have skills development, we have enterprise development, we have supplier development, and then environmental stewardship, making sure that we are taking care of this planet, and when we hand over the planet to you, the youth, that we have done our part, that this planet is becoming in a better and better shape, because we all know that the planet is suffering, and we are trying to do the right thing in terms of the environment. And we make a difference, and you can make a difference as well. So for us, education is a fundamental tool for the long-term alleviation, both of poverty, but also to equip people, you, the youth, to live a dignified life where you're self-sufficient, that you are the ones creating your life, but also you are the ones who are part of building this wonderful nation. Our initiatives within education are where our projects are here in South Africa. So it includes a bursary program in the communities where we operate with our programs in South Africa. In Eastern Cape, it's around the communities of Adelaide, Bedford, Cookhouse, and Somerset East. In Northern Cape, it's around Aggenes, Pufada, Pella and Witbank. And in Western Cape, it is around Swellendam. These bursary programs that we are starting now, and this is the launch of that, will cover a number of areas. It'll cover books, it'll cover transport, it'll cover accommodation, a monthly stipend, and a laptop. And the learners that we're looking at will be South African citizens, learners who are completing matric in 2021, learners who need the financial support, typically with a household income of less than 650,000 Rand per annum. Learners who are academically deserving, who has worked hard, producing the results, putting in the effort, and getting the grades for it. Learners who have been provisionally accepted at any South African university. And the majority of these learners will come from, of course, relevant work streams for what we do. So that's science, it's technology, it's engineering, and it's mathematics. This is the whole foundation of many, many learnings. Approximately 10% of other candidates will be from other streams. We will take approximately 10% of these candidates from other streams as well. And learners who conduct themselves well, and I'm sure that goes for every one of you that I'm looking at, and will abide to the school's code of conduct, of course, will be given preference. So if we just take a step back and look at who we are, in this company, we come with a lot of different stories. We actually, more than half of us are actually women, which is very unusual in this kind of work, but we are. Not because we give preferential treatment to women. We always hire the best candidates possible. But by hiring the best candidates possible, actually more than half of our employees are women. Gender has absolutely no impact on what your possibilities are. That is a very, very fundamental aspect of who we are and what we do. Gender does not matter for us. I went through university, now I'm 53, so it's quite a few years ago. I worked 2 jobs in order to get through that, and worked day and night in order to make sure that that was possible. But I was still privileged because I still could get through with that because university fees were much cheaper at the time. We have people in our company who are themselves coming from bursaries and have managed to get an education, educate themselves, and they're part of our family now, creating a better future for Africa. We have people who had started an education, then they had to stop again, go out and work, restart again, and then finish their education. Some of them are still educating themselves while they're working here, and we support that. We have, for example, the youngest person ever to advise the government on the transmission grid, so how you transport electricity from one place to another across South Africa. She comes with a similar background as I just talked about. She had to start an education, stop it again because funds were running out, get a job, try to restart it again, studied day and night, etc. And she's now actually just been admitted to one of the world-leading universities out of Denmark in wind technology. Everything is possible. But in order to make it possible, we also would like to support you, the learners, to have this opportunity. And this is why we're doing what we're doing with this launch. But also other people can also support this. So for the school management teams, now your teachers, the principals, etc., they are part of this foundation for South Africa. What they do in order to shape you and educate you is invaluable. Not a day goes by without me being grateful for the teachers of my son, what they do for him, how they educate him, how they fill his head, how they make him grow. Teachers are the salt of the earth. They are so important in everything we do. And the school management can support us by assisting the learners to apply for these chosen courses for the 2022 academic year. We are very, very proud that we will be sending what we expect to be 30 pupils to universities in South Africa from 3 provinces, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, and Western Cape. We hope and expect that these 30 learners will do really well. I have no doubt they will. Put in the efforts, reward the support and trust that we, teachers, parents, all of us are putting into them. Work hard, achieving their goals, and we will be there also to support. We also would like the schools to please help us spread this message to your learners, that what this program is all about, what they can achieve if they work hard, and how we would like to support them in this. The absolutely admirable, wonderful Nelson Mandela, what he once said, education is a great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. As a closing statement, and you can feel that for us personally, but also as a company, this is very close to our heart. But this education is really part and parcel of our contribution towards economic recovery for this wonderful nation. It's a tough time we're living in. We're doing this through screens. I would love to be there in person, I really would. But this is the COVID that we're living under. However, we are Africans. We are the most resilient people of the world. We can do anything we want, whatever the world throws at us. So we are adapting to this COVID-19 pandemic. We're getting vaccinated. I've had my second shot now, and I encourage everyone to do the same. We need to live with this COVID-19. It's also putting stress on learners. It is not as easy as it used to be when the rest of us went to school. Now they have our wonderful learners now to have to adapt to this new world as well, which is going to be with us for a couple of years before everyone is vaccinated, etc., etc. But that we will survive as well, because we're Africans. It's what we do. But for you, the learners, we're going to be part of giving you an opportunity. I want you to seize that opportunity, go with it, and go out and build a future for you, but also for us as South Africans. And this is why we're here today. Thank you very much. And please also, I would like to have a wave, if it's possible. Thank you.
Tim, can we, the learners, give a round of waves before the CEO leave the platform? Jeremy, Jason, let's have them. Thanks, CEO. Let's continue our engagement with our community leaders and our team in the respective provinces to make sure that the learners can able to apply for this bursary and they find themselves in the university. On that note, in closing, give another round of applause to our CEO and our director when we are switching off from this live broadcast, which will now relay in your respective area. Jeremy, start with your team. Can you give a round of applause to our CEO with your team? Thank you, Northern Cape. Western Cape, can you give our CEO and our director a round of applause? Thank you, Jason. We have just had a technical challenge in the Eastern Cape, but we were able to share the same information with everybody. With those hands and with the closing notes from our CEO, thank you for everybody. We are expecting good results from the matric, and we are expecting the grade 10 and 11 to understand the requirements going forward.